welcome to my channel. My name is Tori. Today we are going to be discussing Redeeming Love, the book and the movie. So if you have not seen the movie or read the book, then spoilers ahead. But here we go. Okay, so first, right off the bat, I read this middle school. So I have loved this book for a very long time, and I do recommend the movie. They did a really great job of sticking to what was true to the story, what was very necessary, the most important scenes and everything like that. Of course, with any book made into a movie, there's going to be cuts, and like a book that's this thick, it's going to be a super long movie if you don't cut some certain things out. So, but they left in everything. The integrity of the book itself was kept in very well. And I cried. I was expecting to cry more, actually. But I did cry because like it was absolutely beautiful. And I was like drawn in the entire time. It was super intense. So I made a quick little list to go over some pros and cons. There were actually like coming up with cons, like I actually do have a handful, but again, just in general, I did love the movie. I do recommend it. I do recommend the book more than the movie though. I'm absolutely obsessed with this book. I read it last year when the movie was supposed to come out, but yeah, anyways, so let's get started with our pro-con list. So I'm going to start with the pros and I kind of try and see if I can remember any other ones while I go, and then we'll switch over to the cons. So pro, there's more of the villain. The main villain is Duke in this. Again, spoilers. This is just a whole spoiler video. So there is a lot more Duke, like when Michael is taking Angel out of, after she gets beaten up and stuff, and he's taking her home, right? You see Duke in the passing carriage, and I just think that that moment is so intense because you realize that he's there. He's in the same area as Angel, and like it draws that villain in more and like builds up that character a little bit more rather than just seeing Angel's perspective of it. And the nightmare that they showed was super intense, and I absolutely loved that. And the scene where wow, I can't remember his name. The guy that gives the boyfriend, the mom's boyfriend that gives Angel up for adoption, right? When he's killed, it's not just Angel witnessing it and like trying to hide. He actually turns her face and tells her to watch. So I think that like really builds in how cruel of a person this is, how awful this is. On that note though, that scene where they show Angel being adopted by Duke, they didn't, I don't think they covered as much like that he was disgusting, you know what I mean? Like that he likes little girls. Like I think that they could have like touched on that a little bit more. Like later in the movie, one of the little girls is in a bed that obviously like she probably shared with Duke. So like that kind of hints at it a little bit more. But I don't think, if you didn't know the story, I'm not sure that that was conveyed well enough. You know what I mean? Anyways, moving on. Oh, but on a better note, the fire at the restaurant that she's a cook at towards the end, right before he takes her, when she's found, like his assistant finds her, and I think that like they played it as if the fire was his fault, which I think added so much more intensity to the villain. And like even though that wasn't conveyed in the book at all, I think that addition was just so much more intense. For some reason that was like the only pro, but they went over everything super really well. Paul annoyed me, which he does in the book, so like great. But okay, so here are a couple of my cons. In the book, Michael does not call her Angel, like never. So he goes over a bunch of different names, pretty much all biblical, and if she's like super sassy, it's Tirza, and in general, it's Amanda, like, you know what I mean? Like, he goes back and forth, like, trying to guess her name almost, and just giving her a different name instead of calling her Angel, because he wants something different for her. So it has that deeper meaning, and she never calls him Michael. So when they first sleep together and she says his name, like it's this really intense, drawn out thing. And then at the end, when she goes back to him and says his name and admits like her name, it's so much more intense. Like, obviously that she admitting her name was still a thing at the end, but he does, like, him calling her Angel all throughout was just kind of weird for me, but because I'm such a big fan of the book. But I think that was a very confusing thing would be a very confusing thing on screen, which is probably why they left it out. At the end with the truth instead of singing, so like when I liked how they put Nina on there, so the mom, May, right? How they put mom on there saying, like, just tell the truth. Like, this is how you can defeat it. And that, okay, that was another pro. She just, her praying right before she went on stage was so utterly intense. And the fact, like, that she threw the cross, and then that they were showing, like, young Sarah, like, going back to, like, through the water to get the cross. Oh my gosh, that was a beautiful moment, and I think that really conveyed trying to reach out and grab onto faith. Oh my goodness, that was beautiful. But, so instead of Angel getting up on stage and singing a Christian song, she just tells the truth. She just goes, Duke likes little girls, and like, it's just, what? And then him taking her backstage and trying to kill her. I kind of liked that twist on it, and how she was rescued then, and then still pointing out, like, Duke, like when she rescues the two little girls and runs through the crowd, and they were like, oh my gosh, there are little girls here, and the crowd, like, goes after Duke. That kept pretty true. Little intense of a scene how they actually showed Duke hanging right after that, but I think that was kind of, it was necessary. I just think that the way they showed it was very intense. The Altmans were cut a little bit, which I guess I get. Again, like, anything's going to be cut, and they still showed the close relationship of Miriam and them staying and how excited they were, and how that was a pushing moment for Angel to leave again, so that Michael could try and be with Miriam. It was a bummer, though, that they didn't show, like, the mom, Elizabeth, was pregnant when they found them, so, like, Angel getting to help deliver the baby wasn't, like, as drawn out of a thing, and that was such a turning point for the character of Angel, so that was a little disappointing, but again, some things have to get cut. My biggest con was they needed a little bit more Jesus and a little less sex. So obviously, okay, I understand. Don't hate. Like, I understand the premise of the book is about a prostitute. Is about sex trafficking, is about abuse and all this stuff. So obviously it's going to be massively inappropriate. I get that. But the sex scene between her and Michael was so, like, just way intense. I kept expecting it to get cut, like, how TV scenes, movie scenes, like, they show them starting to get freaky, and then they cut it, and then they move on, right? Like, they obviously, like, did the thing. But the details that they had in it was very intense, and it was, even though, like, her skirt was covering it, like, and his pants were still up, they obviously were having sex on screen. You know what I mean? Like, obviously it was acting, very good acting, but it was very intense for the kind of movie that it should be. For a movie that's supposed to bring people to God and show the love of God. The first time that Michael was praying in the church, the first time they showed that, it seemed a little forced up until he was like, all right, God, so, like, maybe a wife, you know? Like, that seems so natural. And then when he's, like, in his house pacing back and forth, asking God to give him the strength or let him go after her, that's natural. But it was forced at times, and it just seemed a little odd. So those are my pros and cons of this movie. But again, I really did love it. Abby Cohen, did an absolutely fabulous job of playing Angel and the intensity of it. Again, like, it could have been 3 movies to fill in this entire book. You could have had 1 movie or like half a movie just on the beginning of it in general, like her backstory as a child. And it was an intense movie, and this is a long book, and there's a lot that goes on, and there was a lot that was going on in my brain. But again, the one part I did cry at was, well, okay, I cried at 2 parts. I was expecting to cry a lot more, but I cried at 2 parts. When Paul goes to get her, and when he realizes why she left. It broke my heart. Oh, it broke me so good. And the forgiveness level was very intense. And then finally when she returns to Michael, I definitely cried. Bummer that somebody's phone went off in the theaters at that very moment. But the song Rescue by Lauren Dingle that they chose to put in that moment, it was so perfectly beautiful. And I listened to it on the way home like 4 times, just playing it over and over again, just having a major God moment, just remembering my own struggles and why this book matters so much to me, and everything like that. If you would like me to talk more on that and why this book matters so much to me in my own struggles, you can go and check out my PTSD video. I will link it up here. But I can also make another video if you guys are interested in me and my connection to this book and my history with abuse and everything like that, and why this made such a difference to me. But I just wanted to focus this video on reviewing the movie in general and comparing it to the book. So that is all I'm going to say for today. This was a super long video again, but thank you guys so much for tuning in to my channel. I hope you liked it. Give us a thumbs up down below. Let me know your thoughts on the movie, on the book, whatever. If you've gotten to seen it, if you want to see it, if you are going to read the book now, or if you have read the book, just let's start a conversation down below. So again, I look forward to talking with you, and I will see you next Tuesday.